Hi, welcome to the Comics Panel. On today's episode, Mike and I are going to give some recommended reading. So, Mike, what are you reading these days?
Well, I got DC's coming out with about 5 or 6 new books. I picked up one of them this week, and it was called Sideways. The writer is Justin Gordon and Dan DiDio, and the art is Kenneth Rocco Fort. So I hope I said that correctly. Sorry if I didn't, but it's reminds me, he's like a high school kid. He's a young guy, and he gets these powers somehow through Metal World or whatever that Dark Knight's thing with Batman is. That's confusing. But he has these powers, and he's using his powers. And it kind of reminds me of what I think a young Peter Parker would be. You know, with using his powers, he's having fun with them. And that fun kind of leads him into getting into a little bit of trouble. But overall, it seems a pretty good story so far. It has my interest, and I look forward to reading the next issue, because it ends with a cliffhanger.
Oh, does it?
Where he said well, spoiler alert, if you didn't read it.
Don't spoil it. Okay, spoiler alert. He said spoiler alert. Go ahead.
Should I? Or should
No,
I?
you said spoiler alert.
Well, he does something he was told not to do, supposedly by someone, and he just pushes the envelope and leads him into hanging in the balance where someone wants to kill him. So I'll let it go at that.
I did look at the book. I haven't read it, and it gave me a Spider-Man vibe like you.
Yeah.
And his powers are?
It's like he makes these little like
portals?
Portal things, and he can jump. They're like little V's. He can go through and different things, and you see him trying to test his powers and crashes in the lake one time. He goes, I didn't think that was supposed to be there, or something like that. So, but it has some potential good adventures there, and some comic relief into it. So it kind of reminded me of that, a little bit of Spider-Man from Homecoming, you know, with the jokes and stuff. So.
Yeah, cool. So you recommend that?
Yes, I recommend giving it a shot. It's a new title that DC's coming out with, one of the 5 that they're coming out with, and I think it's worthwhile to read and check it out and see where it goes. It's only the first issue, so they got to develop it from there. So it's worthwhile. Do you have one? Or
I happened to come upon a book called Stabbity Bunny.
Okay.
It's by Scout Comics. It's being published by Scout Comics, and I believe it might have been self-published prior to Scout Comics republishing it. I'm not really sure, but that seems to be what I'm getting out of it. It's written by Richard Rivera. He also created the character, and the artist is Dwayne Biddix.
Okay. I have no idea what Stabbity Bunny is. Okay. I'm assuming it has a bunny.
It's about a young girl who is kidnapped, and her family is involved in the magical arts.
Oh, okay.
And the bad guy that took her wasn't the main bad guy. He was like a puppet. There's 2 issues out so far.
Okay.
As it turns out, Stabby isn't exactly just this little fluffy bunny.
Okay.
He eats souls, so it's kind of fun.
Okay.
It's kind of fun.
I don't know anything about it, but all I know is that people are buying it like hotcakes.
Oh yeah, it's selling out. Diamonds, they're selling out of diamonds.
I know they already went into another printing and stuff, didn't they?
So. Yeah. Yes. Number 1's, I think, in the 2nd or 3rd printing already.
Nice.
Yeah. It's very enjoyable. The art's pretty cool. Story's easy to read and fun. And I mean, you got a demonic fluffy bunny. What more could you ask for?
There's no such thing as a fluffy little bunny in this comic book.
Not in this comic, nope. So what else you got?
All right, my second recommended reading it's Port of Earth by Image Comics. The writer is Zach Kaplan, and the art is Andrea Multi. So anyway, sorry about that. I'm not very good with names. But it's a sci-fi book. I thought it was going to end in 4 issues because in the new previews I did not see it advertised, but the story is continuing. Basically, aliens come down to Earth and they're using water to fuel up their spaceships.
Oh, okay.
And they don't need a lot of it. They just need a little little bit. So they made a deal with the consortium to come down to Earth, use this water, and they have this like port, and all these spaceships can come down to it. Thing is, you're not supposed to leave the port if you're an alien, but the aliens go off port, wreak some havoc, kill people. We kill them, causes bad blood, and you find out this consortium isn't really a good, like a business venture. No, it's not. I should say not a business venture. They're not like some kind of interplanetary UN type thing.
Okay.
They're business people. They're making business. So they gave Earth some technology. They have an Earth Defense Force, and they're supposed to be the lawmen to keep the aliens in check. But you can only use force when they tell you it's okay to use force. So the last issue ended up where there's some kind of espionage going on with these aliens, and they're trying to find out what's going on. And the thing seems like they're getting worse and more out of control. And the next story arc, there's going to be a second port outside of Rio de Janeiro, and they have the Jesus statue like this in the new port. So I think they're looking to expand, and some of the people on Earth are thinking maybe this is not the best idea. But it's actually, the art's not bad, and it's a pretty cool story if you like science fiction and aliens type of stuff. So
Cool.
it's worthwhile to check out. I know you cannot get, I think they said issues 1, 2, and maybe 3 are done. They can't get them on reorder, but the graphic novel's coming out, which will have the first 4 issues. So if you can't find the back issues at your local comic book store or at some place online, then just buy the graphic novel. It's still a worthwhile read. You won't be disappointed if you like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah. Cool. I've heard of this. I've heard it's pretty good. I haven't read it. I guess I should.
If you like sci-fi stuff.
I do. Okay, I have one more.
There's no demonic bunnies, but there's aliens in it.
Okay.
And cops.
Well, aliens are good. I have one more. Redneck. I'm sure
Oh, I heard
it's
of this.
been around a while.
You know
it's
you're a
been
redneck if.
No, that's
No,
not that kind of redneck.
Okay.
No. It's published by Image Comics. It's been around. I think we're probably at the time we're filming this, probably issue 10 or 11. It's written by Donnie Cates, and Lissandro Ederin and D. Cuniff are the artists. It's about, and now I lost track of where they are. I want to say they're in Georgia, but they're down south. Okay, and they're rednecks. It's a family of rednecks, but they're also vampires.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
Yeah,
twist.
and the father has been around for hundreds of years. The uncle isn't really the uncle; he was just turned. But since they all live together, like as I forget what a pack of vampires are supposed to be are called, a coven. Yes, thank you, thank you. And I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't. I thought that was witches.
Same.
So, thank you.
Please share.
Yes. There's a little girl, and she has power. She has, not ESP, she can read your mind.
Telepathy.
Telepathy. And Grandpa is just like really old. He's practically looks like a bat. He's just that old. And the bad guy is.
I'm just thinking of the Munsters.
Oh yeah, well no, he's uglier than that, Grandpa. And the bad guy is the local. He's like the rich guy, but he's also sort of a preacher.
Gotcha.
But he gets turned too.
Okay.
So it goes from there, and all kinds of input tonight, and.
There's a lot of action going on behind the camera today.
Wow. We got to get done on film here so we can join the party. Redneck's a good read. It's tough to find the first one. You're probably going to have to. There's another one that went crazy off the shelves, and by the time anybody knew they wanted to read it, people were selling it for.
I remember a lot
far
of
too
people
much
were
money.
asking for that book.
Yeah.
Do you have any of these? Do you have any of that? So.
And but it's a good read. It's fun to read, and it's the one that made me go, hey, can't wait till the next one. And in the back it always said, it always says, "Y'all come back now," and it has some hillbilly thing in the back, some kind of picture.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun read. A little different than your picks, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You got 4 different varieties, 4 different
Yeah.
people. If you're into rednecks and vampires,
Well,
it's a great merge.
And the thing is, there's a lot more out there than superhero books.
Exactly.
Even though we all like superhero books, and a lot of it's fun to read. Give it a try.
I got to try out a Jeff Foxworthy redneck joke.
You want to tell me a redneck joke?
I'm gonna try and do it in the redneck theme of Image Comics. I don't know if it's gonna fly.
Right now you're going to do that?
I guess I will.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're staring at a person's neck for several hours, you might be a red. No, that doesn't work. Never mind.
Yeah, it didn't really
We'll
work.
just edit that part out.
No, I think we should leave it.
It's like that thing of staring at a carton of orange juice for several hours. All right, if you're in a hospital bank and you're staring at a bag of blood for several hours, you might be a redneck.
Okay, well,
There we
okay,
go.
we'll let him have that one. How's that? Are we done?
Yep, we're done.
Okay.
Leave your comments in the space
Leave
below.
your comments in the space below. Like us on Facebook
And subscribe to the YouTube channel.
subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a good night.
Thank you.